And the book that we're talking about today is called Standing Out, Say No to Conformity, Embrace Authenticity. Martha Nelson, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you very much.
This is such a powerful conversation. In this book especially, it ties in with what we started talking about in the morning. I don't know if you were in studio yet. We're talking about confidence and how sometimes you're not yourself because you're trying to be overconfident or you're trying to dim your light as well. You do not embrace who it is that you really are. Can I just read a bit of it at the end?
Yes,
before we
you
start?
can.
Okay, cool. It says, many are the times people desire greatness while they rarely invest in their uniqueness. So this book will help you understand that we are not born to conform to what has been set, but to stand out and become the best versions of ourselves. So it continues to say authenticity is often massacred on the altar of conformity. Authenticity is standing out. To dare to be like people is cowardice. Dare to be yourself is bravery.
Yeah.
Whoa. What was the inspiration behind this book?
Well, it's my journey first. I realized there's so many ways through to, of course, get through life, do life and everything. And as I walk through the journey of life, I realized that there's a lot of people out here trying to be the best they need to be, everyone. And of course, even if it's a few of those who need to get to where they need to be, it's a big competition zone. So I realized you can't compete with people. The best way to stand out is to actually be the unique you and to be the authentic you that you were created to be. You will never have to, of course, appear like you are, let's say, doing something else that is not meant for you, but you are trying your best to be who you are, and it flows. And of course, people, like I'd say, people relate with your gift.
Yes.
The relationship with people is not is not personal, it is transactional. So instead of asking why people don't call you, ask yourself, why should they call you? Because it is about who are you and what are you offering for this person to be able to consider you needful in their life. So I decided, and I really saw, the more unique you become, the more authentic you are, the more you search out who you are, the more you begin to be useful. Because the purpose of life is about being useful and what you offer in this, earth and every season of your life.
That is so powerful because there's never going to be another you.
Yeah.
Then there might be people who might be doing what you're doing, but they don't do it the way you do it.
Yeah.
And the moment you start to believe in that, the moment you start to see that, then you start living your life fully.
Yeah.
So there are a couple of, what are they called? Topics in here. And I don't know where we start. So I see a lot of Bible verses as well. And I think there's something about this topic, what is it called? The title of the book that also comes from the Bible as well.
Yeah.
It does,
Yeah,
right?
it does.
Yes, I think I was trying to just be like, do I? Yes, but now that you confirm that. So you talk
Yeah.
about set principles and standards. So you say do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, which is a Bible verse as well. So when we talk about setting this principle and standards, do they need to be based on anything?
No. One, we have, of course, said that somebody actually needs to know who they are. So when you know your path, you begin to understand what standards you have to set. Because to really have value placed on something, there are standards that come with it. So if you don't have standards that you relate with according to, all of us have different dreams, different aspirations. So of course, our standards will have to vary from time to time and from place to place. But there are those ones, we always know they are very, very random and applicable in every situation. But all of us need to be unique in our own way and understand that this is what I want to achieve. So I'm going to set my bar high as I desire. Like every product in the market, not all of them are in the same price range, and all of them have their price tag. So if you don't set your standards, you don't have a price tag on yourself. That means I will come, and of course, Kenyans, we bargain. And if you don't set if you don't have standards with you, I will put the lowest I can, affordable for me to be able to relate with you. So standards are very important. They set you apart. They also draw the right people to you who you need to walk through the journey of life, and of course set apart those you don't need, of course, because people who can't trace to your standards and the bar you've set, of course, will have to fall off. They can't keep up with your bar.
So this whole thing about living or setting your standards according to what the world expects you to be should just be a thing of non-existence,
Yeah.
not even a thing of the past, because they will set the standards or the price tag for you, on you, based on what they think you're worth, not on what you say you're worth.
Yeah.
But you need to be aware. You need to be aware and be intentional on this journey as well.
Yeah. But well, what I can say is from how I have actually put the tagline on my book, say
Yes.
no to conformity and embrace authenticity. Conformity is average. You
Yes.
can actually decide to conform and forget about who you're made to be and begin, of course, that's the nature of life, because when we get born, we realize these systems we already are absorbed into. So you begin to just live life and accept it instead of making it. So what I'm trying to say here, for you to stand out, as the title says, you
Yes.
have to embrace your authenticity to a point where you actually realize that I can't conform to what everyone is trying to do. I need to realize my uniqueness, my authentic nature, subscribe to it, and be brave enough. Like you said, it's a lot of bravery that is
Yeah.
needed to actually realize that I'm so unique. I'm so, I'm so
Out of this world,
great.
extraordinary.
Yeah, like we are all made for great things.
Yes.
Everyone has the best they can in them. When I wrote this book, I can tell you for sure, I knew from when I was young I was going to do something, and I want to do more, of course. This is just maybe the first thing, and among others.
Yes.
But it took a lot of courage. It took a lot of courage for me to really say, am I even able to put down one chapter? All those things. So it takes a lot of courage, and for you to realize that this is who I'm made to be. And if I don't step out to be that,
Yeah.
I will not be who I'm supposed to be. So conforming is also something you can decide to do, but you will never get to live a full life.
Both of them are choices that
Yes.
we make, whether you
Yes.
want to stand out or you want to conform to what the average thing is.
Yeah.
And when we talk about standing out and being extraordinary and being unique and embracing that, then it comes with the world looking at you, judging you, trying to put you down, people telling you that, oh, you want to do that. Do you know what the economy looks like? You know you have a family and you will fail, and then what will happen to them? So there will always be the naysayers, people who put you down.
Yeah.
How then do I stand and fight that as much as I want to also be extraordinary and stand out and do my thing?
Well, I'd say first, if you aren't experiencing a lot of bashing out and, of course, negative comments, then you're still conforming. You're still
Okay,
not
okay.
doing what is exemplary. Anything that you realize, anyone who has achieved great things,
Yes.
they had to go off what is acceptable, one, because they needed to, some of them even had to leave jobs. And it was so contrary to what I'm wondering, why are you leaving your job? Because you want to follow this, there's nothing else we're seeing, like, is there any fruit yet? So there's always a lot of controversy. So people will always, because they're not seeing what you're seeing at that particular point, they will automatically bash you. But the best thing is, if that's a test. If you don't go through that, it won't strengthen you for the next personal journey. Because apart from what they say, there's a journey towards you actualizing what you now see to now it becoming a reality. Will you be able to, of course, get through that season, the discouragements, of course the successes as well, soberly to the end and become consistently successful? So if you don't receive that, number one, then you don't even have a good enough dream. You don't. If you have a dream that is exemplary, people will always bash you out. And as you've said, I refer to the word most times, you realize anyone who was trying to follow what, from Moses to everyone to the last part, they were always criticized because it never ever looked like, is it real?
Yeah.
But in the end, the reality strikes in and they begin to accept once they begin to see the results. So for you, it's up to you to, of course, strengthen your stamina and begin to know, I'm the one who knows what I need and
Yes.
what I want to achieve.
Yeah.
In the end, they will see the results. Otherwise, if you listen to them later on, after time passes, what the decision you made won't make sense. Sometimes I tell myself, the decision I make right now, will it make sense 2 years to come?
Yes.
I will say no to them, begin to walk towards what I need. 2 years to come, it will start materializing. I will be glad I made that decision. I will say yes to what they say today, but 2 years to come, I will regret why I failed to listen to my inner voice and I decided to listen to what they said. So it's always something we experience. The best thing is to be prepared and to always walk the journey strong enough, not allowing anyone, of course, to put you down.
Absolutely. So we give up the quick gratification for, a long time, a life of fulfillment. Now, when we talk about the naysayers, of course, there are people who will be there for you, or people that you need to look out for who will help you walk the journey. I have to mention that this book has been forwarded by Benjamin Zulu. And seeing his name here, then I understand the journey that you're walking, because if he's walking this journey with you, then you are on the right path. You know what I mean? So also picking out the people that will walk the journey with you when you feel discouraged, because it will happen. When you feel a bit of fear, because it will be there. When challenges come, who do you go to? Because when you go back to the people who are telling you haiwezi, then they will be there telling you nilikwambia.
Actually, one of the topics is, who do you work with?
Yes.
Because you realize you can never rise higher than the friends you keep in your life. It's never possible for that to happen. The same way, even a tree, wherever it's planted, it can only be as healthy as the nutrients around it. The same way, a human being, you can only be as healthy as the people you surround yourself with. And sometimes somebody said even your earning range, because you can't keep up with people you don't earn, the same kind of, you don't have the same kind of lifestyle, unless it's, there's other kind of relationship like family, etc. There's other ways, but a normal friendship, you can't. So what I'm trying to say is, who you work with has a lot of influence in your life. Friendship is like a sheltering tree. It offers the shadow when it's hot. When it's cold, it also gives you the, the warmth when that time comes. So you need people who have gone ahead. They say you need somebody who has crossed the river to tell you how far, how deep, so that you can know if you're gonna cross or you're gonna stay back until the water is down. So you need to work with someone, and of course to know that there are people you cannot have in your life. I've mentioned 3 types of people, and of course they are right there. There is the constituents, the way we normally, of course, define friendships, and we begin to expect things from the wrong people, and that is why we are always disappointed. Disappointment is the gap between expectation and reality. So the reality is they're not your friends, but you're expecting friendship from them. You're expecting them to actually help lift you when they can't. So if you begin to understand the different forms and the different people in your life, you begin to expect the right things from the right people, and you will not be disappointed. So
those are the constituents.
Constituents are basically the people who you relate with on common terms, like you're my workmate. We meet because of an activity. We don't meet because we are friends. You see, if it's not school, if it's not work, if it's not probably you're going to church or something, if it's not all those kind of categories, then you're not my friend. And people actually confuse those people for friends, because they think we meet every day. But you realize once you're done, for instance, you are done with high school, campus, maybe you did your master's, all those things, you don't meet anymore.
No.
So we begin to see that they don't go through seasons. Once they get what they need from you, and of course, both of you are benefiting most of the time, but it's like once my destination arrives, I alight the bus.
Okay.
So they are not part of my whole term journey. They are there for a season, and they might look like you're very close friends most times, but they aren't. So
we need to be aware and clear about these people. Then we have the comrades, and you see these are the people who hook up with you because of what you are against.
Most times, this happens in particular environments. You can find even in your workplace, there's just this particular manager. All of you are like, he's so tough, he's so everything. You're not a friend with that person, not just because there's something common between the two of you, but you're against a particular thing.
We are friends because we're hating on him or her.
Yeah. Another maybe thing is, maybe for youngsters who are trying to strike, you realize you've never been a friend to somebody until the day you're planning to strike in school. Or rather, the politics realm. You realize people form friendships based on that. Today, Raila is with Ruto. because
Yes.
they are hating on
Oh,
somebody
we
and they
see
have
it
to.
all the time.
You know, the next day it's Uhuru and Raila, and they are doing it, you know, every day. So it's all about, we have to fight against a common enemy, and we have to come together to win.
The moment they become my friend, then
Yes.
you are not my friend
Yes,
again.
yes.
Oh my goodness.
So
Then we have the confidence and they say, this is the most important level, it is the most critical type of friendship. These are the people who love you for who you are and are willing to die for you.
Yeah, so basically, there are people who are there for you. They're not there for the journey. You can always tell the difference. These are people who, like we said earlier on, many
Yes.
people relate with you because it's a transactional relationship. It's a relationship between you and your gift. But this person is there for you. Those people you can hang out without having to do a lot of things together. And I'd basically read something that I added later on, and of course, as we do our reviews, we'll keep on adding them. But
Yes.
I define a confidant basically as a friend is a treasure, one who loves you as you are, no matter what is going on, one who sees you not only for who you are, but who you can become, one who's there to catch you when you fall, one with whom you can share your everyday experiences, and one who accepts your worst but helps you become your best.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And this is not your regular book, guys. This is also a workbook. So it has questions at the end of every chapter. And at the end, we have a place where you can write your notes right over there. So for every chapter, like say, for example, this one says, I don't know, what does it talk about? The chapter, the power of consistency and commitment. So you go through the whole book. And at the end, we have questions like, do you have a plan?
Yeah.
What steps do you have to be able to achieve the plan? Are there daily habits you subscribe to ensure that there is progress? Are you committed and consistent? What are some of the things that you need to do away with? So this is not the book that you'll sit down and just be like, and asema nini. You just have to have a book on the side where you're writing all these answers.
Yeah.
Sort of like a self-reflective
Yeah.
kind of book. And then you end it with a confidence.
Yeah, you have to, because sometimes the reason why I realized I had to do it that way is because I've also read books before.
Okay.
And it's all about getting knowledge, storing it, and of course after some time it deletes itself, depending on how practical it becomes in your life.
Yes.
So I realized the best way to actually let something retain in your mind is like how school did to some point, asking you questions. You begin now reflecting what you have actually read, because you can even forget something in the next 5 minutes. But the moment you reflect on it, begins to be practical in your life. It begins to actually now stick more and become very memorable in your, and then when you make the covenant, it becomes like a disturbing note every moment I made a certain covenant with myself, and I think I'm not actually fulfilling it, so it will keep bugging you till you do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the covenant bit, can I just read it? It says, now I trust you have downloaded the best of nuggets from this masterpiece. The world needs more and more people to recognize their uniqueness. As Joseph Moore, the author of 50 Insights, I wish they had taught me in school, puts it, only a few among millions get to unravel their true self through following their unique path, and it's upon them to share their story to the world and bring the rest aboard. We have a task ahead of us. Let's establish a covenant with you. Name 5 people in your social circle that you would like to sponsor a copy of this book for. Together, let's transform the world. And there's person 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
So when I do this, then I need to get a book for each and every one,
Yeah,
and then
or
they
rather-
do that as well.
Yeah, or rather, you can reach out to them and tell them, I need you to read this book, so I know how to get it for you. You can actually pay for it, or anyhow you agree, if you know you're not able to pay for the 5 people. Yeah.
It is a masterpiece.
Yeah, it is.
Definitely is a masterpiece. Where can we get it, and how much is it going for?
Well, you can get it through me personally for now. Only doing hard copies, but a soft copy will be out soon, because
Okay.
of course you know how soft copies work. My number is 0704 109 160.
Say that again.
0704 109 160.
And how much is it going for?
600.
600 bob.
Yeah.
So, covenant will say, stand out, embrace the glorious mess that you are, be your authentic self, stand out, be extraordinary. Thank you so much, Martha, for coming through.
Yeah.
It was a lovely conversation having you on the show. And if you're looking to join a college, where I'm here to tell you that KIPS Technical College is one of the largest NEC examination centers in Kenya. It is a premier tertiary institution. It's established and mandated to operate by TVET Authority. And when it comes to studying technical courses, no one actually beats KIPS College. They offer high quality technical and professional training to all who are aspiring to acquire and improve skills that are relevant to the job market. And even if you're looking to get into entrepreneurship, then they got you. Well, KIPS ultra-modern learning facilities, highly qualified and experienced lecturers. They have attachment liaison office and a counseling office as well. All of this make KIPS the preferred choice. And the July intake is ongoing. So if you're looking to get into full-time, evening or online classes, all you need to do is apply today and study with the best. So for more information, you can visit their campuses. We have one at Afia Center, Philadelphia on Philadelphia Building, Thika Road campus, that is Mirema Roysambu, and Greenspan campus at Greenspan Mall. You can also call them on 0799031490. KIPS Technical College, a sure path to success. We're going to take a very short commercial break. We'll be right back.